right, so we're here at AFC Freedom Estate. Y'all heard me speak about it here, and now we are looking at the roads being cleared out for the estate. Remember I said that this is going to be the first community where the diaspora and Kenyans live side by side.
Pan-African lifestyle, it's a vibe, yeah. It's a lifestyle, it's a vibe, yeah. African lifestyle, it's a vibe, yeah. Pan-African lifestyle, it's a vibe, yeah.
Welcome to Pan-African Lifestyle, where we rep the motherland. We post content regularly and invite you to subscribe and share. If you're a pal, that's a Pan-African Lifestyler.
African Americans seeking investment opportunities or to relocate to Kenya on Saturday convened in Nairobi for a cultural exchange forum. The campaign, dubbed Call to Action, was spearheaded by Traverze Culture and seeks to strengthen the bonds of Africans who share a common lineage.
And while we are coming to your country, we don't want to force ourselves here. However, we want to be welcome because we are your cousins. And while we don't know each other, we're fully aware that we have a huge disconnect. This is the starting process of bridging that gap.
Y'all see this? It's real. We have the agreement here for 40 acres of land just for you.
Very, very much prepared to receive the diaspora when they come back home to Africa.
Yeah, yeah, Karibo, Karibo. Karibo, Karibo, oh, Karibo, oh, Karibo, Africa.
AFC Freedom Estate / farm, where we have been given access to 164 acres of land by Mzee Gitu, the chairman of the Mau Mau fighter, who is now 100 years old. When he heard about this initiative that was brought to his attention, he jumped in. He said he wants for the stolen Africans to return home and be his neighbors. And that's what he's done with giving us access to this so that we can build the first ever estate where Africans of the diaspora and Kenyans will live side by side in a luxury estate, which will impact the communities and employ local Kenyans, as well as anyone else who want to take advantage of that opportunity. My name is Kea Wakesheo Simmons. I carry my Kenyan name, which is a Taita name. But as you already know, I am 27.7% Lua. And so my second name is Akini. Yes, yeah. Yes. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. However, my family and I are from Charleston, South Carolina, of the Gullah Geechee culture. Shout out to Chucktown, James Island, Gullah Geechee culture. If you don't know about it, go Google it. It's a rich African culture right there in the corridor of the Gullah Geechee culture in Charleston, South Carolina, which we call the Low Country. So it's very rich in African traditions and even the dialect that we speak. A lot of people don't know about us. So my aunt did our DNA through the Eve, and when it came back, I had already been coming to Kenya for about 9 years already. And so when it actually came back, it showed that we were from Kenya through our DNA, starting in Kenya. Now we are 33.3% Nigerian, so most people think that we're all West African, but some of us are partially East Africa, or started in East Africa and ended up in West Africa. I came here and fell in love with this country. As soon as we landed in Mombasa at Moi, my friend at the time, we kissed the ground, and we were just so happy to be on the motherland. Oh my God, we have been lied to bamboozled and hoodwinked. It was just crazy to see how modern the country was. And while we didn't think people lived in huts, we didn't think it was that modern. This country has, developed rapidly, first off, especially Nairobi. And when I first came here, they were infrastructure, but now, I was talking to my niece on the phone yesterday, and I'm driving, because I drive in these streets. I drive in Nairobi. And as I'm driving, I sometimes forget that I'm in Nairobi, Kenya. I feel like I'm at home in the States because the infrastructure and how modern it is. You got the skyscrapers, the diversity. So it's like, you sometimes forget you're in Kenya. In terms of infrastructure, this is a developing country, and on par with some of the top tier countries in the world. Sometimes people in the West think that Africans or Kenyans, if you will, don't like us. And that's not necessarily true. There's a truth to it because there's a disconnect. So Traverze Culture, we're a travel concierge company that specializes in humanitarian relocation assistance, business development, and as well as investment opportunities. And now we're going into agriculture. Our headquarters is here. You're in our office here in Nairobi. We are also in Central America, Belize and Panama, working with their government to implement the same thing that we're implementing here in Kenya, but Nairobi is our international hub. Now, what are we doing this year? Last year, we had a great initiative where we put everybody on notice that we are initiating this call to action for us to create a relationship first, to get to know each other through our cultural similarities and differences, but leverage them to our advantage. When you look at the African American community and the Caribbean and everyone within the diaspora, we are returning and bringing 700 years of data to Kenya. And we're so excited to start this initiative, to see this beautiful country. So once we completed the call to action, now we're in the new year, 2024, we are launching the Journey Back to Eden. This is the cradle of life. We all know that with any speculation that this is the cradle of life, and we are returning to the journey, or through the journey of Eden, before the transatlantic slave trade, before we were just captive and known as slaves. Before that, when we were human, when we created life here in this region we call the cradle of life. And so with that initiative, we are calling 3,000 to 5,000 African Americans to join us for the Journey Back to Eden, which is a 3-year initiative starting this year, where we have 9 promotional tour dates starting from Juneteenth, to promote this initiative of Journey Back to Eden, where we'll have a conference in every 12-day initiative, or tour, where we'll go over everything that we're trying to accomplish so that we are accountable for everything that we say we're going to do this initiative. Leading up to the event itself, which will be the end of this year, bringing in the new year here in the Motherland, here in the cradle of life, it will still be built into a 7-day, 12-day event, 3-day event where we will have a conference, vendor expo, where we will have the opportunity to do business side by side. It's never been done. We're going to have DJ around the world, eat around the world, fashion show, red carpet event, gala the next day, closing out the whole thing in a huge music festival where we hope to have some of our biggest artists within the African diaspora. Then we also do have the AFC Freedom Estate / farm, where we have been given access to 164 acres of land by Mzee Gitu, the chairman of the Mau Mau fighter, who is now 100 years old. When he heard about this initiative that was brought to his attention, he jumped in. He said he wants for the stolen Africans to return home and be his neighbors. And that's what he's done with giving us access to this, so that we can build the first ever estate where Africans of the diaspora and Kenyans will live side by side in a luxury estate, which will impact the communities and employ local Kenyans, as well as anyone else who want to take advantage of that opportunity. We have a relocation service, 120-day, 180-day integration relocation program, where we give our guests or our clients a door-to-door service, pick you up from your house in the States, drop you off at the airport, pick you up here, take you to your temporary housing here in Kenya. So, but we wanted to have something that was really comprehensive so that we don't have to always search all over the place for apartments and houses for you. We want you to own your own land and have your own house. And this is where this concept came about, and it was brought to our attention, and we were shocked. We was like, wait a minute, what? Okay, we wanted an in-house relocation program, but we didn't think that we would be building our own estate. And so essentially it was brought to us, we accepted it. And now, again, we're building, I think we have about 150 to 152 plots that will be available for both African Americans and Kenyans, even Kenyans of the diaspora returning home as well. Now, some of the amenities that we're gonna have on the estate, we're gonna have a basketball court, y'all. But a luxury clubhouse where we'll have a holistic spa, infinity pool, hot tub, areas that you can rent out for office space as well as events. Also, the community will also have access to the estate through a membership. So this will be open to the public through a membership as well. We want to have a food court where we'll have Swahili food, vegan, Caribbean, and soul food. There is no soul food restaurant here representing the African American community. So we definitely got to bring it here in Nairobi as well. We're also going to have a clinic, holistic health and wellness, as well as a daycare, as well as a convenience store. I mean, we want to make sure that it's safe, but it has enough amenities where you don't even have to leave the estate if you don't want to. We're honored that Mzee Gitu would have given us this access to this land, and we're honored that Kenya will allow us to do this in your beautiful country. Contact us on tverse.com, join our email list, and we will notify you as soon as the first phase is ready. As I tell everybody, we're not going to put out a half project. We want to make sure that it's comprehensive, that you have all the information that you need before you invest in something that you're not really knowledgeable about. So we want to give you as much information as possible. You have to study history, and what we don't want to do is have a Liberia or a South Africa in terms of xenophobia. So it happens within the continent and outside the continent, right? And so this is why we took the approach with the call to action and now the journey back to Eden with the cultural exchange ceremony that we had at the conference, and it was successful. We got to talk about touchy subjects, myths that we have about each other, stereotypes, similarities, and differences. And so the approach to this is in every trip that we have, we're going to have a conference where we have this cultural custom exchange ceremony where we'll have representation of Kenyans, representations of the diaspora, side by side, going over 7 pillars: dance, language, food, culture, history, spirituality, initiation processes, all in one segment. And then we'll have a town hall style open session like we did for the call to action conference, and everyone get to ask their questions and chime in, and we're interacting and learning about each other, and then realizing the most important part is the differences. Leveraging those differences, measuring what we can use as deliverables as we move forward with this initiative, but again, not brushing our differences under the table, but having hard discussions, conflict resolutions, crying, laughing. Maybe we'll have some mental health professionals with us to walk us through this journey. But my target, the goal is relationship building is the key to this initiative. We cannot do it before we get to conscious commerce and trade. We have to build relationships. All right, so we're here at AFC Freedom Estate. Y'all heard me speak about it here. And now we are looking at the roads being cleared out for the estate. Remember I said that this is going to be the first community where the diaspora and Kenyans live side by side. But we wanted you to see that there's already progress that's happening. All right? Take them around here. Now they're dividing the roads of the estate. But then turn and look what you're going to see. All right, y'all. The call to action. We're going to be looking at approximately getting those reservations for your plots. So stay tuned. Put your notifications on so we can keep you updated. And you see it. Welcome
Where I
home.
come from, I'm happy with my people. Where I come from, where I come from. Ooh.
Thanks for tuning into Pan-African Lifestyle. Share your thoughts in the comments section and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Pan-African Lifestyle to be inspired. For awesome PAL merch, check out panafricanlifestyle.com/shop. Keep repping the motherland.
Pan-African lifestyle.